Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to another edition of the Monday Night Raw Review. I'm your host, the invincible Vincent. This show is brought to you by UnifiedWrestling.com and 123wrestling.co.uk. Now, this show, first of all, took place in Boston, TD Garden. Shawn Michaels was the first man out the gate. He came out to address the statements that Triple H made a couple of weeks ago. He came out and said that he was sorry that he caused such a ruckus a couple of weeks ago when he was trying to convince Triple H to accept Undertaker's challenge, and he wanted to bring out Triple H and basically apologize for it and talk about how Triple H changed his mind. Triple H came out, said that Michael said that he was a little rough on him last time they spoke, and that he just wanted to know why. After all the pressure he put on Triple H, calling him a coward, going back and forth about how he needed to break the streak, etc. What was it that it took to get him to change his mind and go ahead and accept the Undertaker's challenge? And then he played back the video where basically the Undertaker called out Triple H rather by telling him that he always knew that Shawn Michaels was better than him. And after that, he's like, "Oh, okay, so that's all it took, really?" And basically, he went on to say that. Actually, Triple H came out and said that no, that's not at all what it was. He just got tired of everybody talking about Shawn Michaels behind his back, about how Shawn Michaels couldn't get the job done, and as his best friend, he was going ahead to beat Undertaker, not just for himself, but for Shawn Michaels too. So that's the way that basically ended. And before that, actually, Shawn Michaels also pointed out, he already knows who the winner is going to be once they have the match in the Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania, because Shawn Michaels announces that he's going to be the special referee for that match. Now, after that, so after that's set, the show gets underway with match number one, which was a United States Championship match between Santino Marella and Jack Swagger. Now, during this match, the interim GM, John Laurinaitis, and David Otunga came out to the ring. Otunga distracted the ref long enough for Dolph Ziggler to take a pot shot at Santino behind the ref's back. Now, Teddy Long comes out to the ring, also accompanied by Oksana and Kofi Kingston. He makes it plain to John Laurinaitis that John Laurinaitis isn't supposed to be there, which he's not. Since they've switched places this week, Teddy Long's the GM for Raw, and John Laurinaitis is the GM for SmackDown. Now, Santino, basically Dolph Ziggler tries to get involved again. Santino hits him with the Cobra. Goes to hit Vicky Guerrero with the Cobra too, but she gets away, but gets pushed on the ground by Oksana. And the match goes on. Santino actually winds up winning this match after basically flinging Jack Swagger into a turnbuckle and then getting a roll-up and the pin and the win. So Santino Marella is now the United States champion. Sort of saw something coming, didn't expect it to be this quick, but that's good on Santino. Following that, we had match number two, which is Alicia Fox versus Eve Torres. Now, Eve got a pretty quick win here, but after the match, Zack Ryder comes out and basically announces broskies before hoskies and then leaves. But after the commercial break, Eve catches up to him in the backstage area. She says that she wanted to tell him something and then plants a big old kiss on him and then walks away and leaves him standing there smiling. So this story apparently is not over. So we'll see what happens with that. Following that, we had John Cena giving a promotion about WrestleMania and what it means for him to go against The Rock in Miami. Basically, he recalls that the New England Patriots happened to go 18 games with an 18-game winning streak, but wound up losing in 2007 to to the New York Giants, and basically he wanted to see. He made it known, by the way, that nobody ever remembers number 2, and he wants to beat The Rock to. It basically says that he needs to win. Now, prior to this, during the evening, Rock actually had a series of three promos where he's talking about history lessons. The first one prior to this was talking about the Boston Tea Party. This was where he was talking about the colonists basically revolting against Britain and throwing a bunch of tea into the Boston Harbor, and then he proceeds to throw a bunch of John Cena's merchandise into Boston Harbor. So yeah, and then following that, in the second promo, he was standing in front of Paul Revere's statue. He talks about going back in time and something about a flux capacitor, Boston cream pie, and then we move on to match number 4. This was The Miz versus Big Show. Starts out with Cody Rhodes actually before the match, after the bell rings, but before the match gets underway. Cody Rhodes pops up and shows a clip of the Big Show not being in WrestleMania, actually being in the WWE restaurant in New York in 2002, high-fiving everybody, trying to get everybody involved in the show. And this enrages Big Show so much that when The Miz tries to hit him from behind, he basically flattens him pretty quick and then chases after Cody Rhodes. Now, The Rock's third history lesson pops up in front of the State House. He says the Rock Revolution is going to defeat a certain smiling Superman at WrestleMania 28. Does a couple of his catchphrases, and then the show continues. Match number 5 is R-Truth versus Kane. Kane wins with a choke slam. R-Truth still comes out with some awesome promos. If you haven't seen it, check it out on the web. Now, after the match, Randy Orton comes out to the ring. Now, Randy Orton has an axe to grind against Kane from SmackDown last week. During Randy Orton's match, Kane came out and basically beat up everybody, but basically targeted Randy Orton most of all. Now, at this after this match was over, Randy Orton came out. Kane tried to go after him, but R-Truth grabbed Kane's ankle and held him in place while Orton was able to land the RKO. Orton grabbed the mic and tells Kane that it's good to be back, which was sort of symmetry for Kane wishing him, telling him welcome back after he decimated him on SmackDown last week. Now after this, we had the dueling promos where John Cena came out to the ring. He's from the Boston area, but he was getting booed at first. But he says that he figured everybody would be excited because The Rock is in town. Finally, The Rock is back. Finally, the real Rock is back, giving history lessons. But Cena was mentioning that the only problem was which Rock was really back. Was it Brock or was it Dwayne Johnson? And he went on to point out what happened last week, which was when he went to tell the Rock, all the problems that he had with him last week. The Rock could barely come up with a response. He said that The Rock was a vodka mixer and a Corvette away from a full-blown midlife crisis. He said The Rock appeared to be genuinely shook up last week, and when he was stuttering at the end, trying to get out his response, he said it sounded like the old Rock. He sounded more like the Rain Man. And basically he did that whole Eminem 8 Mile Road thing where he took all the bullets out of the Rock's gun before he could get to the ring. He talked about how, yeah, you're absolutely right, the outfit that he wears is totally ridiculous. He had some orange and gray shoes on with black socks. He pointed out that he wore knee pads to come out and talk to everybody. Didn't even have a match tonight. He said there's 10,000 jokes right there, which it is. He said that The Rock's University of Miami swagger was back, but lately all of his best stuff has been either pre-recorded or via satellite, and he wanted to know who was going to show up. Is it going to be The Rock or is it going to be Dwayne Johnson who shows up at WrestleMania? Because he wants to go against The Rock. He doesn't want to deal with Dwayne Johnson. After that, The Rock comes out, gives his finally, The Rock is back in Boston. He it looked like some genuine animosity. I don't know if it's the show or if it's real, but he said he wanted to come in and look John Cena in the eye and tell him what he sees and what he wants the world to see. And he sees fear. That fear that everything that John Cena worked so hard for is going to come down once The Rock beats him at WrestleMania. And he said that you think you shook my confidence? The Rock has never had more confidence in his life. At which point the crowd started chanting Tooth Fairy. Which, yeah, he was in the Tooth Fairy. He was also in Fast Five. Whatever. Moving on, the Rock said, once you strip away, all the Hollywood glitz and glamour, everything he's done after the WWE, he's still a 6'5", 265-pound man who can rip your throat out. Which is a legitimate statement. And at his core, John Cena is always going to be his bitch. John Cena, after the Rock rolls out and goes back up the ramp, Cena goes on to say that he's only half right. He says he's the son of a bitch that The Rock was going to have to destroy in order to win at WrestleMania. So, dueling promos noted. Just watching the clock, waiting for WrestleMania 28 to see what's going to happen. But that's pretty much what happened tonight. Go ahead and check in with us on Thursday for the TNA rundown for the Impact and the review with Caesar Scorpio. For myself, the Invincible Vincent, take care. Enjoy the rest of your week.